Well, hello QNI. It's been a long time. It's good to be back. I am Ben Zintak, your happy hour cocktail guy, and I'm joined tonight by my daughter. What's your name?
Valerie.
How old are you?
2.
How old is this guy?
1. And then
He's 1, and what's his name?
and
What's his name?
Theodore.
Theodore, or Theo. I think the last time I did these, she was, you were 8 or 9 months old, and she was in this. He is like twice her size, so hopefully my back holds out. I'm wearing my QNI shirt. I don't think you can see it, but I did manage to find it to show the team colors. Also managed to find the tripod that this thing's sitting on. It was down in the basement. Hopefully this will be better use than videotaping me doing squats. So, excellent. Drink tonight, the Negroni. Now, this is a classic for sure. It is definitely one that is recently very back in vogue. People have been asking for Negronis. Oh, you want water? Hey, we got to be quiet while Daddy's recording. I'm going to need your help in a few minutes, okay? The Negroni is an Italian drink, very popular recently. Everyone, it's hip to drink it. I will warn you, it is a classic. It is also takes a little getting used to. It's a very bitter drink. So it is gin based. It uses gin for a bit of the sour taste. It uses sweet vermouth for the sweet element, and it uses Campari, which is literally called, it's an Italian bitter liqueur for, guess what? The bitter element of it. No, buddy, too much of a good thing already for you, right? I think you've been overserved. So, kind of unique. A lot of gin drinks use a lot of lemon juice or lime juice. Hey, buddy, you want to play with something? How about this? Or else they're kind of light. This is definitely a different flavor. It's very much dominated by the Campari, and the choice of vermouth is going to make a little different. So we'll talk about some variations, but the best thing about this drink, it's super easy to make, right? So I've got my double strainer, I've got my Hawthorne strainer, I've got my shaker cup, and all that. You know what the best part of a cocktail is? Cleaning all this stuff afterwards, right? Nope, it's terrible. So actually, we don't need any of this. Negroni can be made in your old-fashioned cup, right? So that's the nice thing about it, especially if you're drinking alone, which, I don't advocate. You can make it in one single one. If you're making a few, you can line them up all in a row, or you're welcome to get out your materials and mix a bunch of them in the same proportion. So you could do that to save time and kind of dole it out equally. But what we're going to do tonight is make a single one of them. I think neither one of these would enjoy a Negroni, a little too bitter for them. We'll make it in here. So the first thing we need, and of course the one thing I forgot to prep, is
my milk.
your milk. That's water. We're going to get ice. So one moment. Ice is nice. Look at this beautiful tray of ice. So much better. You want one? That's going to be cold. All right. So we're going to take ice. Now, since this is meant to cool the drink and stir it, you're going to want to put a good amount in. You just want to be careful when you're stirring because it might get a little out of hand. I don't know. Sometimes I choose to make these I think 3 might be enough. All right. So we've got an old-fashioned cup full of ice. You could also have it in the freezer if you wanted to get a little pre-chill on it, but didn't do that tonight. I'm home alone with the children, and so that kind of forethought just wasn't afforded me. Hey, you want it back? Here, how about this one? This is so much more fun to play with. All right. Actually, you're going to hurt yourself. How about this one? Sharp edges. There we go. Oh, my very own Hawthorne strainer, baby's first toy. So, another easy thing about this, equal proportions. So however much you want to do, it's just the same of each. I recommend 1.5 ounces of each. I think that's a goodly drink. But you could do 1 ounce of each. You could do 2 ounces of each. And if you're making lots of these, right, if you're going to use your strainer and your cup, you could just put an equal amount, 10 ounces of each in there, and pour it forth as you see fit. So that's a nice thing. We'll do 1.5 ounces tonight. I think that fills this nicely. Hey, yeah, hold it quietly, please. Theo, we cannot be banging this thing around like that. It's going to make it very hard to make a drink. Oh my goodness. Hey Valerie, do you think you go get Theo a toy? So we'll start with the Campari. This is available at your almost any liquor store, very ubiquitous. It's very bitter, hard to drink by yourself or by itself, and hard to drink by yourself. That's a sad night, but 1.5 ounces in our fancy measuring cup. You will need some sort of measuring cup. Again, if you wanted to measure it out with like a tablespoon, 15 milliliters, you could do a few of those. That works. Wow, very bitter. I don't even know what Campari is really based on. In any case, it's mainly used for Negronis. We're going to take our sweet vermouth. Now, this should be kept in the fridge if you open it. It'll make it last a little longer. They say it's only supposed to last, I don't know, 3-6 months. I've kept mine much longer and it's been fine, but do keep it refrigerated if you can. Just pour that in. Nice little brown and red color mixing together. And then, of course, the magic sauce for real, the gin. What are you doing? Tanqueray tonight is our gin of choice. I like to buy in bulk for the amount we consume. It does make sense. Theo hits it really hard. So, right, buddy? So, 1.5 ounces of each. You don't need to put in any bitters or certainly no bitters. It's bitter enough. Some people like to embellish it with a couple little things. I think it's probably best just to leave it this way. But there you are. So now we need to stir. So Valerie, you're going to help me stir? I'm sure this is super hygienic given how much Theo's been playing with this spoon. All right, gentle. Look at this. Look at this pro. You're going to hold the glass, stir gently. Stir gentle, don't spill. Hey, buddy, can you wave to the camera? Blow kisses? Oh, blowing kisses. All right, thank you, Valerie. That's enough. So yeah, you're going to want to stir this for a little while just to make sure it's cold. If you got the sweet vermouth in the fridge, it's going to be a little cold already. When you're done stirring, if you want, just, you don't want to make a mess, you can always add another piece of ice. But you're actually going to serve it with the ice, which is, let me wash this off, buddy, so it's not full of liquor. There you go. So you're going to want to serve it with the ice. It'll keep it cold. It'll kind of water down the drink. This is a nice one. It takes a little while to get through just because of its bitterness. So there you can see it right there. Look at that. Nice, beautiful red color. So now what can you do with this if you decide you want to mix it up a little? Well, the first thing is, you can alter any of the ingredients by changing, the different type of gin, different type of vermouth, or a different a different type of Italian liqueur. So Aperol is very similar to Campari and is a little gentler. If you want to go the other way, Cynar, hey buddy, Cynar is artichoke liqueur. It's very bitter. What do you want, buddy? Yeah? You're kidding me, right? How about this one? Cynar is artichoke liqueur and definitely brings the heat. So I'll recommend that if you really want a trip. So you can change that for the Campari. You can use a bunch of different types of vermouth. You could also use an Amaro, which is like a different type of fortified wine. This one's a Verna. It's a personal favorite. It definitely changes the drink. It's going to make it a little thicker and heavier than sweet vermouth. It won't be as sweet, but it's delicious. I make a number of variants with that. You are really breaking this, dude. This is not safe. Let's play with the Hawthorne strainer. Finally, obviously you can be careful there. Obviously, you can use a bunch of different types of gin. The gin flavor doesn't come through super strong on the Negroni, which is kind of a benefit. You can use some cheap gin to make a Negroni and you won't taste it as real garbage. I think the better gin you use, the better the drink will be, to be clear, but you don't have to worry about using your fine artisan gin. You can just throw in some Beefeater, Tanqueray, or Bombay, and it'll be perfectly fine. One interesting alternative, if you use rye or bourbon, and just do the exact same thing. It's called a Boulevardier. It definitely is a even tougher drink, but it will cover up some of that bitterness with a little bit more. I recommend bourbon rather than rye, I think. But that is a nice alternative. So if someone asks for a Boulevardier, you just make a Negroni, but put rye or bourbon in instead of gin, and you should be okay. So let's try this, huh? Oh, cheers, QNI. I'll warn you, it takes some getting used to if you haven't had one before, but it really is nice. It's a nice long sipper, either before or after a meal. So, Valerie, can you say goodbye to everyone at QNI?
Goodbye, QNI.
And Theo, can you blow kisses and say bye-bye? Oh, there we go. Good night to all of you. Hope you enjoy your beverage. Happy New Year, and good to see you all again. Cheers.